I spent the, some water?
No.
Oh, you got beer going.
Yeah.
I spent the last,
You want a cold beer?
okay. Don't want to drink your beer, but if you're offering, don't want to drink your provisions. Right on, thank you.
Cold one in there.
I think they're all pretty cold, aren't they?
Yeah, they're about
About the same.
the same.
Yeah.
No, I grew up on the reservation, and there's one of my old stickers, but it's pretty well faded away.
Yeah, well, I thought that's cute.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, maybe there's truth in that, and maybe there ain't.
Sure.
You know?
Old Indian word or bad aim. What are the boxes here?
Toolboxes.
Are they toolboxes? With the little cutout pipes under it, look like it might be.
That's just for
Catch-alls.
saws and axes and grease guns on the other side, and chainsaws on that side, and tools in the other one, and there's tools in that one too. But it just something I gotta have to work. You know, you run heavy equipment, you gotta keep it running. So that's what I normally do.
When I was a kid, I worked at a company in Portland called Road Machinery, and that's all we did was heavy equipment. And I traveled. My territory was from southern British Columbia to Mexico, over to Montana, and I sold drill bits for mining and road construction. Second largest drill bit manufacturer in the world. So making good money and got a little spoiled, and things kind of came easy to me. And
Like some of that might be a little oily, but
it's I'm good, thank you.
But no, it's all I've done all my life, run heavy equipment. And it just got to be to the point where there ain't no work. And it just, I don't think it's going to get any better until they do something with that damn government.
I tell you what, we don't need change.
It's like I've always, all my life, and been into law situations where you had to go to the courthouse and do over some job or some damn thing.
Yeah, permits.
And you find out through all the years that this one woman that I worked for, her and her husband years ago, I used to get tickets. The damn cops would give us a ticket for the dump truck, wouldn't have a light, or light wasn't working or some damn thing. And I told her, I says, I really feel bad about this. I says, I work on them damn trucks late at night and try to keep them all ready to go the next day, and then something goes wrong with them, and then they get a ticket, and we get a ticket. She says, don't worry about it. And says, what do you mean? She says, oh, come on in the kitchen, have a cup of coffee. And there and sit down. She says, I take your ticket when you get it, you or whoever's got the ticket. She says, I go down to the courthouse and the day I'm supposed to be there. And she says, I paint up and powder up and get a nice short, nice looking clothes on. She says, I sit there and smile at the judge, and she says, your $100 ticket or something that maybe cost you $5, or he throws it out, whichever. She says it's no big deal. And but then I've seen that happen all the way up. And I know that, like I've always said, that they go to school to learn to become a lawyer, then they become a liar, then they become a politician.
Yes.
And
then they become your neighbor.
Yeah, they're a neighbor. They're telling us what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They become your boss.
Really.
I tell you, things have changed. I'm only 39, and in my short years, it's amazing. It's amazing the things that have changed, and how everything from my old fishing holes that don't exist anymore to just
stuff changes.
Well, and it's changing fast. You go back to the last 100 years and stuff changed, but 110, 20 years ago, we weren't even flying flying around in an airplane yet.
No.
Before that, pretty much not much changed for thousands of years.
Look at back in the 50s. I mean, there wasn't many big airplanes.
Yeah, there wasn't much of anything, and everything just kind of broke. Technology opened up everything.
I can remember when I was a kid up there in eastern Washington, all winter long the snow would be just as white and nice all winter long. And then sometime in the late 50s, these planes started flying over. And the next thing you look at the snow and it just had little black specks all over it. Now, where did it come from?
The one that I find interesting is, especially up here, you really notice it, but you see these jets flying over, and some of the jets have that condensation trail behind them.
Yeah.
It dissipates, you know, a couple hundred feet in my eyesight behind the plane.
Yeah.
And then you see a plane come through and leaves this big old smoky looking cloud, and and that stays in the sky, it stripes the sky. Then you wait an hour or so, and that thing's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, turns into a damn cloud.
Yeah.
What's that? You know, I know
know.
condensation. Condensation's steam.
But they're saying
it dissipates.
They're saying the damn government's saying, "Oh, it's fine.
It's nothing.
It's
Yeah.
nothing. Don't worry about it."
But it's turning into clouds. You can
Yeah.
literally see these bands just start opening up and create a cloud. And that you got to wonder, because like I said, condensation, a contrail coming out of an airplane just evaporates, just like steam would.
Oh, yeah.
But these things stick around. And they're not on every plane.
Yeah.
So, you know, what's going on out there? And with the things the government tells you, imagine the things they're not telling you. Yep.
Nothing sort of.
What you smoking over there? I see you got some papers.
Oh, I just roll my own.
Yeah, so
That's all. That's all
yeah, I'm down to my last few papers and my last little bit of tobacco. I had a buddy of mine that was supposed to come up.
You need papers?
I'm running low. I've only got a
some
few.
here. I'll go get them.
If you got a few spares, I won't turn them down. I had a buddy of mine that was supposed to come and resupply me every 3 weeks.
They just come out of the
Thank you.
out of the store this morning.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, it's what the hell? Hinge off or something.
Oh, you know what? That's a hinge off of a closet door that somebody left up here that I made a chair out of.
Well, hey.
Oh yeah, you gotta make do with what you got. I came up with
Really?
more energy spent on my laptops and I'm kind of writing a book as well.
Yeah.
And I had a buddy that was supposed to come up every 3 weeks and resupply me. I'd paid for everything, you know, all my cigarettes, all my everything, and he never showed up. So I've been up here for the last month with no provisions.
That's not good.
Yeah, I met a couple of nice folks up here though. One guy gave me a little bit of tobacco, and you know, just this mountain, I tell you what, when you need it, it'll give it to you.
I didn't bring it out. I usually keep it like what I use for a day.
Oh, yeah?
Copenhagen can.
Yeah. Well, like I said though, I've found that what you need, this mountain will give you.
Well,
If you need some company or some companionship, they'll give me somebody like you. If you need
it comes along.
It does. It really is amazing. And I've traded, you know, like I said, I clean up these campsites every day. I go around and if I hear somebody stuck, I come out with a shovel and an axe and a, you know, digging tool, and I do what I can to help. And you know, I've brought people into my camp and fed them, and you know, people that were stuck up here in the evenings and needed a meal, and you know, I've done my good deeds, and it really is remarkable to me how every time I turn around, I get paid back in one way or another. It's like this morning, it was kind of cloudy, and I was just kind of bumming around. I didn't really want to get out of camp, and I hiked up the road a couple miles and thought I'd come back through this way, and here we are. So
I usually got pretty much everything I need for, you know, very wiggly, but not so much the survival stuff like eating, you know, something to eat.
Yeah.
That I don't need that, but I got all kinds of tools.
well, I heard you down here. I was kind of waiting on a buddy of mine, maybe a guy that I'd met up here. We were going to go fishing yesterday, and he didn't show up, so I don't know if he ran into trouble or not. But when I come around the corner, I heard your music going, and I thought it was people yelling for me. And I got a sign on camp down there that just says, "If you know me, fire off 3 shots, and I'll fire 1 and make my way back to camp. And if you need something, take it, but please don't steal from me."
You got a pretty big one.
Little 38. That's a neat little gun.
22.
That's neat. Can I see it?
5 rounds.
That's neat.
I bought that brand new. It's made by Freedom Arms. They make one with a little short barrel, about that long, that goes right in your belt buckle. And you push a button and it falls right out in your hand.
Oh,
but I wanted the longer barrel so I
a
could
little more
shoot
accuracy.
a rattlesnake or
Yeah.
a little more accuracy or
Yeah,
grouse. I've got grouse.
Yeah,
and
I
rabbits
just had
and-
one fly out of the bushes on me. I didn't see him. I would have I would have made him a meal.
And because the guy can, just survival. I've shot hundreds of rattlesnakes with the sucker.
Yeah.
And
Never eaten a rattlesnake. I hear it's good eating.
they're not bad.
It
If you're
sustains
hungry,
life.
They taste pretty
Yeah.
good.
Oh no, that's one thing I noticed. When you bring up stuff, and I kind of came with, a lot of food and stuff, and a lot of city stuff, and the first couple weeks you're up here, you're eating real good, and you're like, no, I don't want that, I don't want that, I don't want that, and then when you get hungry, that's good food.
Yeah.
It's good food.
Not bad. There's a little cedar growing there.
Yeah. I've got an old growth right behind me that's been supplying me with wood, because when my buddy came up the first time, we went up on the hill and cut some dead snags, and got me supplied up with 3 weeks worth of wood or so. And when he didn't show up, I had to start scavenging. I got an old dead cedar behind me that's laying down, got to be 30 feet around, and all the dead limbs are still hanging off of it. And I've been burning on that for, a week and a half. So, and literally 20 yards behind my camp. So, makes it a little tough. I'm cutting it up with an axe, and I burnt myself the other day, and I can't get it to heal. So, I got to wear a big old glove when I'm swinging my axe, chopping it up. Yeah, I got a big old burn right there. It's right, right where you're grabbing. Get that little vibration out of there, and it wakes you up.
But no, I've been coming up here for a lot of years. I see the creeks changing as the years go by, and
I just noticed this little creek coming off the hills dried up.
yeah.
Well, and I hear what they tell me is another 2 weeks or so, this creek will dry up. There'll be pools, but it won't still flow.
Right up around the corner there, it'll run all summer, but then it just goes in the ground, underground, and it comes out way down below.
Yeah.
But when it gets down so low, it just disappears.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the kids run through here with their 4-wheelers and
Yeah.
stuff, and I know they did a lot a year ago. And
Yeah.
but
Well, I
always-
got a road coming out of that parking area over there that had a big old hump in it and kept people pretty much out of there. And then somebody came in and cut down one of the trees and made it real easy to drive in. So, but I got a good spot. I'm down around the bend. Nobody, from here you'd never know I'm here. From over there, if you come down to the end of the road, you can see my tarp. But in order to get to me, you got to cross the creek. And if you come in behind me, you probably shouldn't be coming in behind me. So I know that's not a friendly. I've had some weird people up here though. You get these tweakers, man, and these guys all drugged out. And
you can see where they've been playing in the road down there and stuff. And there's one car way down. Oh hell, ain't too far after you cross that first bridge coming in. There's a green car sitting there, looked like it'd been rolled over.
yeah, they bring them up here, just beat them to death and leave them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they do.
No, I know it's.
Yeah. No, there's some pretty neat country up here. It's really
Gorgeous.
get to looking around.
I think I got some guys on this other side growing pot up on the hill. They come up once every 2-3 weeks.
Oh.
And there's a handful of Mexicans that are going up there, and they always
Yeah,
have,
there's a road that goes up to the other side.
and they've always got those blue water jugs with them. So they're going up and watering and coming down, and those are the type of people I don't care to run into because they're
Really?
breaking the law already.
Oh yeah.
And to bury me in a stump is nothing for them. So
I noticed last winter at the Forest Service there was a lot of Mexicans coming up here cutting bear grass and stuff, anything they can harvest.
Yeah. And they make a buck on them.
Yeah. Never liked marijuana. I tried it one time, didn't like it, and that was enough for me. I was back smoking Bull Durham, and then the guy says, "Oh, try one of these." I rolled it up and tried it. Yeah. It didn't hit the spot.
Yeah, no.
And pretty soon he was just happier in a climb at high tide, you know. And I decided, well, I don't need any of that crap.
Yeah.
And Christ, I smoked for 60 years, I guess.
Yeah, my dad just died a couple years back of lung cancer, and it really surprises me that I'm still smoking. I tell you what, it grabs a hold of you.
If your system can handle it, it ain't gonna hurt you. You know, there's so many people that live like a lot of my relation, they lived up in their 90s.
Yeah, look at
Man,
who's that old comedian? The old man smoked cigars. Smoked cigars and always had a drink on stage.
Yeah,
Big
I know
glasses.
What you're talking about. No.
I was gonna say Bob Hope, and that ain't it. The little short guy.
Yeah.
He did those movies, God 1 and God 2, and all those. Yeah, either way, but that guy, he lived forever. And my grandmother, she lived forever.
And my grandmother always smoked Camels and that back in the old days, non-filtered ones.
Yep.
And then she smoked Chesterfields, which are non-filtered, and Pall Malls and all them, and she lived to 95, 96 years old.
Yeah.
But no, it just like me. I go out and work with the kids today and work their ass right in the dirt, you know.
Well, that's just work ethic, is all that is.
And
these kids can do it; they just don't know how.
They just don't want to do it.
And they don't have to.
Right.
They're being supported in other ways.
Oh shit!
All the unemployment and all the welfare and all the food stamps and yeah, there's nothing worse than seeing somebody. I got a buddy of mine who lives in a complex with a lot of people on welfare and stuff, and these guys have new shoes and cell phones and new cars, and they're on the system, and it's like, man, I'm working my ass off to keep myself above water, and never in my life have I ever collected unemployment, no welfare, no nothing like that.
And it's like me, I got that AARP or whatever, that, the old age retirement insurance, I got that.
Yeah.
But we can't afford insurance for my wife.
Yeah.
And she was just turning 60 Saturday, I think. Yeah. I think her birthday's the 3rd of July.
Hanging on for a little Social Security.
And so I gotta come up, do shit all the time and figure out a way to make money just so she's got insurance.
Yeah. It shouldn't be that way.
But then the state of Washington, if they'd let Humana 1 in, the state, she could get insurance. She'd have it. But no, they won't let it in.
Yeah, my folks have not had insurance for 10 years. 10, 12 years, they couldn't afford it. My dad died. If it wasn't for his VA, we'd have been in double trouble.
Oh yeah.
And still, I couldn't believe it. When the death benefit came in, they gave you $235, and they gave us $350 for a headstone. And a headstone cost, $1,200, and $235 for a death benefit. That's insane. I mean, this man fought. There was a flag on his casket. He should not have been. We should not have been out of our pocket $6,000 to get him in the ground. And we ended up having to cremate him because we couldn't afford to do it any other way.
That's it.
And I got his ashes down there with me. I take them everywhere.
Well, so, it's just like I still think that oil spill. I think that the government had something to do with that so they could hike the price of gas. You know, that's it. And I'll bet if the truth is really known, they're not paying more than $5 a barrel for that damn oil. If they're buying it.
I've seen a little progression on the internet, like 1985, Saudi Arabia and Dubai and that whole area, Middle East, pictures of, the downtown. And then 1990, right before the war, pictures of the downtown, and it's still just basically a desert. And then 1995, and they're starting to build up. 2000, it looks like, it looks like New York City. All our money's going over there. I write a little music, and one of my lines in one of my songs is my, how's that go? My, something about my, this is built in China and so are my craftsman tools. I was looking at my craftsman voltmeter. I got some solar panels down there. I was looking at my craftsman voltmeter and I went to put some batteries in it. Made in China, right on it. It's like craftsman. The American name, USA, made in the USA. There's USA's that get, China. And I think we'd all be happier to pay 30% more to have people employed in our own country.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Really, they run off all the jobs.
Everything.
I mean,
There's
the
nothing
steel
built.
mills that used to be here,
Yep,
and the
there's
woolen mill.
Yep.
Well, the woolen mill is still here, but that paper mill and canvas is going out now.
Yep, I own the bar directly across the street from that paper mill.
What the hell?
Yeah, the old Pizza Lou's.
Huh.
Directly across the street. I was 24 when I bought that place. And I watched that mill. I watched these guys.
I remember right across from the front door of the paper mill. There was a bar there, but
In the U.S. Bank parking lot. There's a little parking lot there. If you're at the paper mill main door,
yeah,
you're standing on that main street, directly, that's the main drag that goes through town. That's, Fourth Avenue.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. 4th Avenue. My address was like 107 4th Avenue. So I was the first big building on the left-hand side.
yeah, that old
Pizza place. It was an old pizza
a
place.
restaurant. It was a restaurant and a bar. At
Yeah,
one time.
yeah, when you
we used to go in there and dance and
Yeah,
have
that place
a
been there for
party
years.
all
Yep.
night long
Yep.
in that place.
Yeah, I owned that place for 2 years.
And then I got a pretty good buddy who I haven't seen in a few years now, but he used to have a shoe shop right across from there.
Yeah, I was directly across from the
Dennis
shoe store.
Ettinger.
Yep. I know the names. Yeah. I own that place. That place was open, I think, for 69 years when I bought the place.
Oh man, it was a cotton canvas years ago.
Yeah.
And my sister and brother all grew up there and went to school there, and I went to school in Eastern Washington.
Yeah, it's a good old town, good little town. Still got a main street.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, but things have changed out there too.
Yeah, it has.
The cops didn't like me, and I got pulled over about every day out there. They pulled me over once. They followed me all the way from the bar all the way to Taco Bell, and I wasn't drinking or nothing. And true story, they didn't like me this much that because I was the new bar owner and I brought new customers to town and more drinkers and stuff, and they did not like me. So they were in my bar every night, and I gave them coffee and set them up at the end of the bar and let them do what they wanted. But it turned into them basically running my customers out. Because, at 1:45 in the morning, there'd be 6 cops parked out the door waiting to pull people over. And it's like, you can't do this to me. Come on. I'm trying to make a living, pay some taxes, and, keep the roads clear. And they followed me downtown once to go to Taco Bell. I go through the drive-thru at Taco Bell, and at the end of the drive-thru at Taco Bell, on the Taco Bell property, there's a little stop sign about this big. Well, I drive through the stop sign, pull out. They pull me over for running the stop sign at Taco Bell. And I'm just, you gotta be kidding me, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Just insane. And then I got robbed. Somebody broke in the middle of the night. And we just had all of our money in a drawer with a little lock on it.
Yeah.
It lost about $3,000. Call the cops. The cops come down. And he says, well, you know what, Dave? I'll be honest with you. I know that you're late on your water bill right now. And I know that you're late on your insurance. So I'm under the impression that you're probably doing this for an insurance scam. And I'm like, well, number one, if you know that my insurance is late, obviously my insurance isn't active. And 2, you should know that my insurance doesn't cover cash. So what value would I have? And he says, well, we believe that you did this unless you're willing to take a lie detector test. True story. Unless officer schemes. He says, unless you're willing to take a lie detector test, we're not going to investigate this crime. And I says, well, sign me up. Where do I go? He says, just come on downtown. So I came downtown with him. They hooked me up to this stupid lie detector test on this laptop, and they only asked me 3 questions. Did you break in and steal your own money? No. Pass that with flying colors. Did you have anything to do with it? No. Pass that with flying colors. Check this one out. The third question is, do you know who did it? And I said no. I didn't pass that because in my mind I thought it might be 1 or 2 of these other people that I thought it might be. So I passed, did you do it? I passed, did you have anything to do with it? I didn't pass, do you know who did it? They failed me and said, nope, we're not going to investigate the crime. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And I says, well, I think I know who might have something to do with it. What was I supposed to answer? He says, well, you should have said that then. Get out of here, get on down the road. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. You know?
My old man claimed he quit because there got to be too many politics in that town.
It's,
He quit being a cop there.
No, it's like that old mill, you know. I mean, it's all family, it's all political.
It was.
If you're not in the group, if you're not in the, the clique, then
you don't fit.
Yeah. And they'll run you out quick.
Stepmother, she was there until she retired, and a lot of her relation was, and they all retired out of that mill.
Yeah.
But my brother, he was a machinist there, and then he went up to Fort Townsend and got in up there in that mill there.
My dad worked down there when it was Crown Cellar back in the day. I think he made $2.35 an hour.
I drilled wells down there, and I was working for an outfit over in Portland. It was a well drilling outfit, and we drilled some wells down there for them. That's all I ever done for that damn paper mill.
Well, it's changed hands a lot in the last 20 years. And every time you turn the corner, every time you turn the page in the newspaper, they're letting off 250, 350, 400 people.
Oh, yeah.
But I got a lot of buddies that still work in there and have for 25, 30 years, so.
But I'm just afraid, before long they're going to be out of a job.
Yeah.
I heard they only had one more big deal to do, and then they were going to shut it down.
Just imagine the environmental impact of that thing being shut down.
Oh, yeah. What it's going to do to campus.
Imagine it being, it's still running. It's got a big impact, but being shut down, that's just going to sit there and rust.
Sure.
It's just going to sit there and disappear.
Yeah, it's like that aluminum plant up.
Yeah, Reynolds.
On up the river.
In Dallas? In the Dallas.
Yeah, it's above the Dalles.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's Reynolds.
But anyway, they're shit you go by there, it looks like a ghost town.
I sold a bunch of hammers to those guys. Actually, this is 15, 18 years ago, but I made a good commission check on that job. I made about $20,000 for a week's worth of work selling them. I replaced all they're called pot buster or pot hammers, but they've got these big aluminum pots, and after they pour the aluminum out, they go in with a big hammer and chip away the remains of the aluminum in there. And they were called triple nickels. They were Kent 555 hammers, pot busters, I think is what they were. But I think I sold them like 35 of them, 20,000 a piece. Made a big chunk on that.
Yeah, it's something else.
Things are changing. But it's cool.
Worse, I think.
I think for me though, this in one way or another is always going to be available, and you can always go look for what it is you need. And I've really learned that up here. I came up here looking at myself for one thing, and I found a lot of other things that I didn't know I was coming up here looking for.
I can survive, you got hunt animals and whatever, and live.
Well, just the peace and the tranquility and the people. The people you meet up here, I would say 9.5 out of 10 people I've met were just solid good people. And, people that, just like yourself, you need some papers, you need this, you need that, and I'm the exact same way. And I don't have a whole lot to offer right now, but I've dug a lot of people out from getting stuck. I've cooked a fair amount of people some meals, and, I had some folks that came in over here this last week. They set up camp, and we're just camping, and I come moseying in on one of my walks and introduce myself and just start talking to them like we are. And I'll make the comment that my buddy stiffed me on supplies and I'm out of smokes. They go grab a pack of cigarettes, give it to me, and a couple minutes later, and and just good people. And I cruise down to camp and get them all my good stuff. I gave them all my graham crackers and s'mores and all my good snacks, and bring them up that night. I cooked a pot of chicken and rice for them and brought it up, and you know that's how people are up here, and it's really refreshing to find that there is still goodness in the world.
2 o'clock. I should head up over the hill, I suppose. You wanna another beer?
Oh no, I'm good.
Oh, you better have one for the hike home.
Okay, well if you're
Just
off.
save me the tops off the cans. They're all I want.
Oh, okay. What do you do with these?
My aunt gives them to Dornbecker and it helps the little kids.
Oh,
It supports her.
cool.
And in case times gets tough,
Oh,
there's granola bar and one's peanut butter.
thank you, sir.
And beer out here.
I got.
Might as well, because they're.
Want himself?
Yeah, one.
It really is refreshing coming up here and meeting people like yourself. It is. You know, you get a little discouraged down in town and all the traffic and the craziness and people flipping you off and stealing your parking spots and all that craziness. You come up here and you realize, wow, people are good.
Yeah.
People are good. And it's still out there. You may have to look for it a little bit, but
Town people, that's something else. That's why you gotta come up here and get away from
the guy I met the other day called them Idiots.
Yeah.
Like, that's a good name. I'm going to remember
They
that
are.
one.
Damn bunch of idiots down there.
Priorities all screwed up.
But anyway, no, we got moving up over the top of the mountain and down the other side before it gets real late.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate
Just
the
to see
papers
what I can see, yeah.
and the beer and the companionship and the conversation.
Hey, you bet. You take her easy.
I will.
Good luck.
Oh yeah, we're good to go.
Okay.
All right, my friend. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too.